So this is StoneEdge's new shipping system. We're going to cover how all of this gets set up and configured. Get into the shipping settings, go to Settings, Shipping Functions, and Shipping Setup. Here's where we can configure your company information. Now you can enter anything in the first name and last name fields. I'm just entering shipping department, and enter an email that can be used to communicate with the shipping department in your company. Phone and address, much of this information will carry over from previous setup if you've been using StoneEdge already. The required fields are marked with an asterisk, so city, state, zip, and country are required. Clicking save is going to actually initialize the communication with the new API, and as you can see, we have a verified address and the company information is all saved. You can use the current address you see for all of your shopping carts as well. The hardware section starts with some workstation-based settings for a scale. If you have been using StoneEdge and had a scale already configured, that will carry over into the system. Your printers can be set up on a per shopping cart basis, as well as just using the particular printer for all of your shopping carts. Select your label type, and as far as the printer is concerned, this is a list of all of the printers that have been configured in on your workstation. For label printers, you will need to set the printer port, which is the computer name and the shared name. You can click the little question mark here, and that's going to give you a bit more information on how it's connected. So that is the UNC path to the printer, computer name, and share name. Clicking the @ symbol will carry over the workstation name that you are currently working on. And then you enter the share name, which can be set up in the printer's printer settings. Save those changes. And now we're going to go to the shipping services. Now clicking on this is going to initialize the system. It's going to load all of your shipping methods and package types via the API. Now what you'll see in our list, since we're using our test system, you're going to see a lot more services than most of you will be available for you. But if you scroll through, you can get to the typical FedEx, UPS, and USPS. And you can simply click on a method and click the right blue arrow to load it. Or you can select one by loading it by double-clicking it, and that will automatically pop over into the services in use. And now the services in use are those that we'll be using within StoneEdge. So we'll load a couple more, and then we're going to move on over into the rate shopping and mapping. Let me just grab another one here. So you'll see a list of my methods. These are all of the methods that have been used on orders already loaded in the system. This is pre-populated. You can go through and delete all of those published methods, at least those that you do not want to use. You can add new ones. You can refresh the list, which will basically reload all of those methods into this list. You can edit. I need to select one first. You can select a method and click edit. You can change the name here. Again, this is the my method. This is basically what would be a customer facing method basically. So when you select one of these methods, you can map it to a shipper service, and those shipper services are those that we just loaded or selected in the shipping services window. You can also opt to not ship a particular method. So customer pickup is somebody's coming to actually pick it up. You don't have to ship it to them, so I can skip that so it won't appear when we're shipping. But you can map one-to-one mapping. So let's say priority mail. I only want to ship via priority mail, so I can select that. Instead of any, it's only going to rate shop for priority mail. You do have the option to not rate shop if it's one-to-one. That will speed up the process, so you're just assuming based on that one-to-one mapping, doesn't matter what the rate is. Here we can add a shipping and handling fee. Now that can be based on a flat dollar amount or percentage, and you can set that by selecting the dollar sign or the percentage sign. Here I'm going to set $5 as my shipping and handling fee. That only works on manual orders. I can request insurance for my shipments, and that can be done either on all shipments, or I'm going to go ahead and set it to only apply insurance for shipments whose declared value is greater than or equal to $100. And I'm going to set my declared value down here. You have several options, but I'm going to use item cost, and I'm going to set a direct signature. If my item cost is $200 or more, I'm going to have a direct signature, and if it's $100, I'll do an indirect signature. Scrolling down, you have some options for the shipping form itself. These are workstation based. The opening view can either be a search, or it can be a list view, and based on list view you have additional options. So if I wanted to use a list view, I can limit that to the last 300 days worth of shipments. I can also do pagination, which will limit the number of shipments shown on each page. You could set it to like 20. However, I'm going to be showing you how this works in search view, so I'll save that. Then we're going to move on to some packing options. Now here you can choose whether or not you want to save packing data, and this is workstation based as well. You can simply turn this on or off. Additional information or options, these carry forward from previous versions, but I'm just going to leave these as is for now. I'll show you how that all works. Now we're going to move on to tracking options. These are basically the tracking links for your shippers that are configured in the system. These are provided by the shippers themselves. You have some standard ones such as UPS, FedEx, and USPS. However, if you want to add a new one like LTL, you just simply enter it, set the code for the shipper, and then you can select your email template, enter their tracking prefix and suffix. And then once you're done, you click and save it. Now, if you no longer want to use that option, we go back to LTL, and you can simply delete, confirm the delete here, and it's gone. And that's all you need to do. So you can add or remove however many you want, and then save any changes that you make. Now we'll move into the actual training of the shipping system. There are several options. You can use the Ship My Orders main button here under the accordion. You can ship my orders. Now that can be configured on the settings menu. The Ship My Orders option is called Ship It. Make sure that is selected. Then we can get back to the main menu and we'll ship my orders. Now we've configured the system to use the search option. So this is the search window here. Several options we have on this page. You can view your previous shipments. You can repack a packed order. You can ship no order. I'll get to that in a bit. You have your daily reports, which are your scan sheets. I'll show you that in a minute. And you can hop back into settings as well to reconfigure or make any changes that you see fit on the original configuration. Now we'll start by entering an order. This is a manual order that I added a short time ago to show you how the shipping system works. Enter, or you can scan. It does work with barcode scanners, so you can scan an order number. So this is the main order screen. You can see the order number, the order's current status, as well as the method that was assigned to the order. You can view that order by clicking that option here. You have an order summary where it shows you just some product totals, etc. The customer information is sold to and shipped to. You can hop to view that customer information. You can send them an email as well as edit the ship to address. Your items on the order, including dimensions and weights. And the right hand side is the actual brains of the operation. This is the shipping window over here. Now you'll notice the weight here, 1.2, corresponds to 1 pound 3 ounces. So the 1.2 is actually 1 pound 3 ounces. Now the dimensions are automatically configured by the dimensions here. So that medium-sized box, that 5x7x6, actually fits in that medium-sized box. So that's why it defaulted to those dimensions. And the ground we have set up to shop for any service, so it did pull rates for all of available services that were configured in the settings. You can set a particular package type, so Priority Mail has several package types. Currently, based on any changes that you make here, so we'll make some changes to the dimensions. You'll see down below you have the rate has the red strike through. So you can click the refresh, and that's going to go out and grab updated rates based on the changes we made. So now that rate and the various rates here listed have changed. So it's 764. Now, if we were to set a declared value, I'm going to do the 100. That's going to automatically turn on insurance because I've reached my minimum. We've got 90 cents as the insurance rate. That package will insure for 90 cents. And because we changed the signature option, those rates may have changed. And as you can see, it added a couple dollars to that shipment. Let's go ahead and clear out insurance. And as you see, $0 for insurance. We refresh that rate and it drops back down to $7.64. So let's go ahead and print this label. Now I reconfigured my system. I don't have a label printer, and even if I did, I couldn't show you the results. So I'm going to print this label, and it's going to actually open up a PDF instead of actually printing. So let's go ahead and click print so I can show you what the label looks like. And we're printing the label, and this one, like I said, will open up in a PDF view. And there we are. All of the ship to information is listed, the method that it was chosen. Now if I were to close that, it's going to continue on the system and refresh. So I just printed that label, quote unquote printed, and it sent back to the order search. Now let's go to previous shipments. So this is the shipment I just printed. That's my order number, the pickup date, the carrier, the cost, the meter rate. Further on down to the right, you will see your dimensions, signature required I turned off, and there's no declared value. So you can reprint that option. You can also copy it to the clipboard. That's going to copy the tracking number to the clipboard if you need to text it or email it to somebody. And you can void it by clicking the red X. And I voided it. It was successful, and you can delete it out of the system. This I'm just going to leave so you can see how it builds a list. So now I want to go back into my settings, and I'm actually going to show you how the packing works. So if I turn on packing, and a couple of these options, if I were to save because I've changed how the system is going to work, I'm going to get this message where you have to close and reopen the form, because the actual form itself is going to change how it works. So I'm not going to process tracking numbers. We'll go back in. I'm going to reload that same order. And now we're in packing. So this is the packing view. Your items are listed here. Ordered, shipped, how many are being packed, the location, as well as any options that may have been selected. Simply packing, you can use obviously a barcode scanner. I don't have one configured, so I'm just going to double click. That's going to show you how many I'm packing. It's the only item on this order, so when I do pack it, it's going to show me that this order is complete. You can rescan or click OK. And it's basically going to function from this point on just as it did in the previous screen. You can make any changes. Again, this is the brains of the organization here on this side. I'm going to choose a small box. So my rate's going to be a bit lower than it was earlier, 702, because the dimensions are actually smaller. Let's go ahead and add a declared value so it can have insurance, so I can show you how when I were to void it, there's some additional functions that's going to be happening here. So let's go ahead and print this label. Again, it's going to generate the tracking number and print my label. The PDF is going to open, and we'll close it, and it will refresh the screen because this order is now packed and printed and shipped. So if we're going to previous shipments now, you're going to see this order, the pickup date, etc. And if we scroll over, you're going to see the declared value, and my insurance amount of 90 cents is viewed there. Now if I were to void this, go ahead and void it. It's going to succeed, as well as the insurance has been canceled as well. So this communicates both with the shipping API and the insurance API to make sure both have been canceled. Let's show you the no order. This is basically printing a shipping label that is not associated with an order. So if you're shipping to another location or to someone in the company that you don't need an order for, you can manually enter information or do a customer search. This will bring up a current customer that's in the system. And basically the rest works the same. You can enter the weight for the package. You can use a specific box just like you could on the other system. It does work with the scale. And then as soon as you select service, it's going to go ahead and automatically rate shop based on the information provided. This is a 6-ounce small box. It's only $2.74. So if we were to print this order, and I'll go ahead and do that now, we'll print. It's going to again show you the PDF. However, if we're going to go back into the previous shipment screen, the only difference you'll see here, previous shipment, is there is no order number. So this was a shipment that was processed without an order. Everything else works the same. I can void it, no issues. It just wasn't associated with an order. Let's go into reports. This is going to show you if you have any shipments to process. This will, for USPS, will reach out through the API and generate a single batch report that will show multiple shipments on that single barcode package. You make sure that they are processed before 11 p.m. That is not our rule. That is through the API. UPS and FedEx have their own built-in reports. You can access the shipping in multiple screens. So if we were into the view order screen, I'm going to pull up that order that I've been fiddling with, 8274, under the shipment tab. I was there. Let's go to shipping and the print shipping label button. This actually launches just a portion of that shipping screen. Again, this is the brains here. Everything works the same. You can set the make any changes to your package type, your boxes, your services. Everything can be configured here, and a label can be printed from this screen. Additionally, you can do a manual order. So let's go ahead and get out of here and create a new manual order. Now with the manual orders, it's not so much printing a label as it is rate shopping, basically. I'll show you what I mean there. So I'm going to create a simple order here. I'm just going to add a single line item. Show all, grab this guy and add it to the order. Now we're going to go to the payment tab, and this is where you can access the shipping system. You can select just your basic method. I'm going to go ground. Click this guy here, the magnifying glass, and that's going to open up again the shipping screen, loading your information from the order. I'll grab my box. I'm going to refresh the rates. Now you can see below the shipping and handling. That's that shipping and handling fee we set up in the shipping settings. That's adding that $5 surcharge, basically, or the handling fee. So your $7.02 plus 5 is the $12.02. Now this button doesn't have the print. It just has the check mark. So that just says I'm going to pull that rate into the order itself, not actually print a label.